Hey, Rebels. So I am feeling this nervous energy. I know that it's not me, that it is a projection of the energy that's in the air. Typically, at the beginning of the new year, there's always a conversation about what we're going to do differently, what we're going to do new. Not giving much validation to the fact that every moment is a new opportunity. That it shouldn't take for the change of year to happen, though I understand the change of energy, the progression of the world, and yasa yasa. Um, so when I sat down, there was this nervous energy, and for whatever reason, it's like just touched me that there we come into this year with so much motivation and just ready to do, and when it's time to do, sometimes there's that feeling of doubt and pullback from what that higher point that you were at. And pay attention to your pressure points. It's oftentimes, if it's like driving, you'll push on the gas so much and then you'll relieve it just a little bit, just to coast. Allow yourself to coast. Put a little pressure on yourself, draw it back, and allow yourself to coast a little bit just to get used to it. Because if you go all the way to the top of a point, as far as you can go, whatever that point is, knowing that you want to go further, but as far as you're capable of going right now, and you get to that point, you need to dial it back just a little bit and get used to that in between measurement from where you remember yourself being at, making that decision, making that choice, making that change, the full throttle push forward, and then come back a bit just to remember those lessons in between. So, right here we have inner voice, comparison, loneliness, and change. And at the bottom, we have celebration. So, what it is that I am getting from this is that hermit mode has been a long time, so long to the point where you may not be able to pinpoint the exact day, time, moment, or that experience that caused you to go into this point of self-reflection. And if you are able to, even better, right? But don't feel discouraged if you're not able to. It's a process. And there's things that you've lived through that now you're realizing it has to change with you and that the change has to come from you. So in order for that to happen, it's typically easier to be codependent. Let's forget the ask fors and the request that's, they ask for if you're in a level of codependency. But it's easier to depend on others because it seems like it's instant results. But now what you're experiencing is having to actually go through the process yourself. I've always felt and understood that a person who actually had to work for something values it better. So let's just put a value on a stick, a good, luxurious value on a stick. If someone just gave you that stick, you wouldn't appreciate it as much. Yes, it may be sentimental. It may have, those memories connected to it. You might even prop it up and tell a good story behind it. But if you have to work for that stick and you had to create it and you had to mold it and you had to invest in it, you had to nurture it, you would care so much more about what happens to it. No way would you allow it to collect dust. No way will you allow someone who do not appreciate the value that you put on that. And the value that you put on it isn't just the appreciation of it, the allowance of it, the presence of it, but the value of it is also the time that you put into it, the investment, the like they say about babies, the nights that you stayed awake, the effort into the point that the reward showed itself. So keep that in mind, that appreciate the moments. that it takes to get to the points that you have gotten to. Take a step back and look at yourself. All those times that you felt that the pressure was on you so big that you felt that things would never change, and that, you know, certain things just weren't in compliance or in alignment with you to be able to. And now you're able to with awakening, and you see things happening, and it can be a very scary thing, especially when it's like you see that dreams are actually coming true. Your manifestations, your abundance, things are just happening in such a, it seems inevitable, because you pictured it and now you're bringing it here in fruition. But also, and as well, there is a form of disbelief, sanctuary, that you feel like, can you do this? And it's more so the field work, right? It's more so what I call the field work, where you can practice something and you can read a book. Let's say, for instance, you read a book and you remember every word in the book. You remember what words were support words and whatever. You remember on what page you can find certain paragraphs. But when you actually have to put those things into action within a realm of coexistence with other people, and the possibilities and the potentials, and actually reading the situation for what it is and not what you would imagine it to be, that's the special part. Actually applying what it is that you have come to learn to know. So here, strategies, awakening, sanctuary, the age of light. You're being trained for this lifetime. You've been trained for this. So the fear that you may feel is actually excitement. The anxiety that you feel is actually excitement. The luxury that it is for you to be able to feel that excitement and be able to pinpoint exactly what it is to the best of your knowing, and the willingness of you learning more about it, the willingness of your free will to accept that you deserve more all this time. You just had to work to earn that belief, that understanding, and now you're going to gain this reality. The great gathering is all coming together. Intuitive hints. Interested? Intuitive hints. Soul tribe. You felt that you've been alone, but you haven't been. You've been spending the best time with exactly the right person, and that's been you. So anytime that you may have felt that you were missing out on something, that someone didn't validate you, that you felt that you had yourself wrong, bask in that peace. Bask in that peace of realizing that you were faking yourself out. Realize that you've gotten to the point that you've learned to trust yourself. And now is the moments, now are the moments that trusting yourself is actually what you need to prove to yourself now. It's not about whether you feel that you can do it or not. You know you can. It's not about what other people are going to think about it, because why would you have wasted so much time investing what you have, considering yourself, understanding yourself, realizing how to keep yourself in love with you, even during those times that it just seems like, heck, if I was somebody else, I wouldn't deal with myself. But you still love you, and it's not because you're stuck with you, although that's the fancy about it. It's because the mystery of yourself You are so infatuated with yourself in the best ways. You've learned that there is so much to you that every moment can be a surprise just based upon how you perceive things, that all negative points are really positives if you allow it. You love yourself so much that you don't want to go through the struggle of denying yourself the willingness of you giving the best of you to you. So now we have to step out of your comfort zone. You know, I laid these cards down. I didn't even read what they were. I was so busy talking that I just laid the cards down. So, strategists, step out of your comfort zone. Wow. Inner voice, strategist, step out of your comfort zone. Let's read it. Comparison, awakening, meditation, and contemplate. Don't compare yourself to someone else's growth, even with yourself. And the whole, I'm not in competition with anybody but myself. I understand that because I stand by that as well. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Yes, had you made different choices, you could have wound up someplace else, but you didn't make those choices. You could have been further along, or let's say if you did take a different route, you could have got a little bit further along than what you are now, but you could have ran into a choice where you could have took a turn. So always embrace where you are at now, because regardless of what things were, regardless of what things will be, things can always be worse. They can always be worse. And that's the thing about it. We're here to experience each other. So through experiencing each other and observing each other, we realize how we are able to compare our situation, our preferences, our ideals, our vision to someone else's. You have the right to judge, but only of yourself, but not of someone else. So keep that in mind. You are exactly where you need to be, and it does not matter what you feel someone else should have done unless they are directly connected to you. And then even then, all you can do is the best that you can do. All you can do is to offer the best that you can offer. And if you're not enough for them, are you really okay with staying in a situation? And I'm not talking about spite, and I'm not talking about anger and aggression. Let's not do that. Or let's let that go. Set the emotions to the side, and let's look at the facts, the details, the bullet points, the logic. Do you really want to live another moment where you feel less than in a storyline where, for whatever reason of their personal utility of you, that they're willing to keep you around, but you aren't at peace with your representation? I hope that made sense. Let's move along. Aloneness, sanctuary, look at the bigger picture. I feel like just those words right there is a big bow on what I just said. Take the person out of it, the person, the whatever it is, take it out of it. If let's put other people there, same situations, would you accept it? Figure out what's that draw and that attraction to what's behind you or what you should set behind you. Figure out what that draw and attraction is for you. Don't try to ask questions of them or that situation. Why do they want me? No, don't ask that question. Ask, why do you want it? Because even asking why do they want you at times can be deflection from the responsibility that is yours of why are you there. And if you love it, continue to. I'm not telling anybody to move where they don't want to or move how they don't want to. Make your choices for yourself, about yourself. Just like you don't want anyone to hold you hostage, you don't hold anyone else hostage. It's my clear intent all the time. Change. The age of light. Healing moon seeking healing. Healing moon seeking healing. Just hear how that sounds. Healing moon seeking healing. So let's say that the moon is you, that you are the moon. You are such an illusion to the spaces that you take up. You are such an illusion that no one believes you, let alone believes in you, because of where you put your focus and your doubt, where you give the benefit of the doubt. Others know that you are worth more. And there's something about you being worth more and not realizing how much more you are actually valued at. That the illusion of you causes others to see you and deal with you in such ways where, okay, well, I see who they are. I see their potential. I see actually evidence of the potential. Why aren't they doing it? Why are they around me? Why are they accepting me? Why do they reach out to me? Why do they care so much? Okay, let me resist. They're still here. Why are they still here? Remember, everyone is a main character in their own story. As much of a main character as you are to your feelings, to your experiences, to your everything, no one else looks at you the way that you look at yourself. So pay attention to where it is that you are giving your time to. Okay. You already had a victory. You already won. You should already be celebrating. Why are you still, and I understand you care for others and you're concerned for others because you have such a good viewpoint of realizing where others need help at. You have such a good heart of being considerate because of the things that you've experienced and what you sympathize with and your empathy and how it is that you can relate to others. But at the same time, that's what's drowning you. Airplane conversation all the time. Put the mask on yourself first. And it's like you're putting the mask on yourself for just a second, and then you're taking it off and you're holding it down on somebody else's face to make sure that they have enough, just to put it back on your face for just a second, and then hold it down on somebody else's face. And then you go back to that other person because you feel that they might need a little bit more. And then you put it back on yourself, and then you add another person each time. And each time that happens, you have less and less. And you get to the point where you may even forget to put it on your face, even if it's for that moment. So there is a big necessity to take better care of yourself, because this is a very fiery energy. I know that it's like bubbling up in you, because when I saw these, though they're swords, these made me think of champagne. She's crossing the finish line over a bridge. Who knows how long that bridge is? It might be the bridge in Miami. Child, I'm not doing it. But just, it's bubbling up inside of you and wants to be let out. That pressure bring it back just a little bit. And then when you go up, you can go a little bit further. That's how you relieve pressure. You draw it back a little bit, and then you can go a little bit further. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to remember everything that has gotten you to this point and everything that you learned that's a necessity to continue to go forward. Because sometimes when we don't take that pressure off, we wind up finding ourselves applying too much pressure to the extent that we wind up back in that stuff. And like, how the heck did I wind up back here? At what point did I turn? You have to allow yourself to get used to the newness. So looking at the bigger picture, your time alone is going to bring you in aces of pentacles. I'm not talking just a lot of money. I'm talking about so much abundance that it's not just about money. Life is about more, so much more than money. Your abundance could come from honest people. Your abundance can come from peaceful moments and experiences. Your abundance can come from positive versions of adrenaline. Your abundance could come from trusting in yourself and your discernment and just that embodying that confidence that you have worked so hard to coach yourself through to get to this point and to grasp the vision of the points that you are about to foundation for yourself. Inner voice strategist. Step out of your comfort zone. We have an Ace of Swords. I'm sorry. Let me bring that. We have an Ace of Swords. You have an Ace of Swords. That foundation is going to be so different, and you have to trust that you've done all this to get to this point because you felt that it was necessary. It doesn't matter about other people that you want to give you that gratification, that they see it necessary. Because people who are out there that were like you, that are like you, who would like to be like you, who have been like you, will completely understand where it is that you're coming from in this aspect, that you are going to be present and that you will have dealings with them. Trust yourself that you belong. Oh my gosh, I'm dancing around. Changes. Age of light. See, success. Success. So you got 6 of Swords. Or is that one? 6 of Wands. Well, we're going to call it Swords and Wands, the mental and the fieriness. Swords and Wands. It's not that I don't know right now. I'm just really distracted with the handles. Because there is so much excitement. The arm stretched out wide. She's not stopping. You still... The dedication that you have granted yourself has gotten you to this success. You got 1616 on this board. 1616 on this board. I don't know what 1616 means, but for me to have a preference of oracles, though, you know, I do enjoy tarot. And that this is the first tarot that I'm pulling on this channel. And to get 1616, I am so privileged for whatever that means. And for whoever it is that you are. And for whatever it is that is to come. You know, it's kind of dark. The Hermit card. Got a gargoyle following behind them. Out in the cold, you've been covered, cloaked. There's been times that I've looked at this card and thought that he was lighting something like a cigarette or a J or a blunt. And I'm looking at this now, and it's like he has his hands like this. Yeah, kind of like a muffin for those who know about that, but has his hands like this, and there's a light coming from it. So whatever is going on, whatever is happening, whatever is about to happen, it is right at your fingertips. You're always going to, like they say, new levels, new devils. There's always going to be something there, something, someone to challenge you, to test you, and invite you to be discouraged. The choice is always yours. The choice is always yours, regardless of what somebody's title is, what someone's authority seems to be. What is this? Where did it go? Give me a moment. So far. Okay. We have it's all in the details. Time matters. Devilish intentions. Experiment. And at the bottom, we got smooth travel. You are currently traveling in the right direction. Any plans you make should go through smoothly, no interruptions. There is still much to learn and discover throughout your experience. So, yes, we can look at this and say, I'm going to sit this right here. We can look at this and say, ooh, that devilish intentions, what is that? No, like I said, it came right here at the end with change and every change, looking at the bigger picture. I'm sorry, what was it? Change, seeking healing, success. There's always going to, like I just said, going to be something, someone's energy, presence. There's always going to be an invitation for you to relapse. There's always going to be an invitation for you to actually have fun and it affect other parts of your life. There's always going to be an invitation. Heck, sometimes you won't even get invited and you can just simply go be a party crasher and just pick it just because. But remember what it took for you to get to the point that you are at now. And remember all those times that you had to say you're sorry and all those times that you had to redo things that you've done before just to catch back up to where you once were. Your time matters. Is it really worth redoing things just because you know how to? Sometimes, let's say you continue to run in and out the house. You continue to run in and out the house. And you feel, okay, well, I'm able to do this all the time. And you run out the house, for a little bit longer than what you usually do. And then you go back to the house and the house is either no longer there. Someone else has changed the locks, soundproofed it. They can't hear you. The door has closed. That opportunity has sailed away without you. And sailed away without you. Let's say it was a cruise ship and you're getting on a sailboat and then you're getting off and you're going to go get some food or something and you're going back to this boat and then you're going to go use the bathroom because you prefer to use the bathroom that's, on land versus the one that's on a ship because you're going to be on a ship and you'll tolerate that once, you actually have to be on the ship, once you sail off. And you do this back and forth regardless. Oh, let me run to my car before, we sail off, and you run back to the ship and the ship has already took off without you. Your time matters, and now is the time. There is so much that is changing in the world, and you never know if the laws that are now had will be laws that will be had later on. Things change all the time. The only one who can promise your stability is you. So, what is it going to cost you? What is it going to cost you? Will it cost you a who? Like, who will it cost you? When will it cost you? Or will you just dream about what you would have allowed it to charge you? I care about you so much. And just realizing right here in this mystery card, this person is looking up at the moon and the rainbows, just dreaming. Do you want to continue to dream, or are you really ready to build this foundation and amaze yourself with the best form of affection that you can ever receive? That you can ever receive. I care about you so much. Have a wonderful day, evening, whatever it is and whatever it will be for you. We listen and we don't judge. Have a blessed one.